So we are just finishing up, I guess, our easy kind of off the range day. Shot Thursday and Friday, both at the Rocky Mountain Regional, which was Friday, and the Colorado State Championship, which was Thursday, out here at the Cameo Shooting Complex. So wanted to introduce everybody to a good friend of mine as well as my dad. So making these videos and stuff like that for everybody, trying to show everyone that everybody can do it. You don't have to have any skill set or anything like that. So we have somebody that's kind of a newer shooter to the competition side. He's been shooting for roughly 12 years, you said?
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that middle area. I'm coming up on about 18. And my father here has been shooting since, what year did you start shooting?
1961.
So a total of, you said what, 50?
About 54 years.
54 years competitively, 64 years actually shooting. So I have a tremendous amount of knowledge and stuff like that, not only from the shooting sports, but as well as 40 years of law enforcement experience, another 3.5 years, correct?
Yeah.
For military. He was active duty as a U.S. Army. He and I served together. That's kind of where we met and started shooting together on active duty. So as most of y'all know, I've done 5.5 years active duty, currently still in the Guard, both of us, 13 Foxes together. And I picked up all of my shooting knowledge and everything like that from basically this gentleman right here. So with that, McCoy, I'm passing it off to you just because you have the shortest time span of experience so far. So kind of tell us your starting of shooting with whatever guns or whatever you started shooting up until kind of when you and I met.
Yeah, so I started shooting with my grandpa, mainly just shotguns for like small game hunting and stuff like that. And eventually active duty, stopped all that stuff. And I met you, and we went to start shooting. I didn't even have a handgun at the time. So I went and bought a Glock 17, and we went up to the mountains to start shooting. And I wanted to get into like mainly pistol shooting and stuff, just for the simple fact of like, I didn't have any experience shooting a pistol at all up until that point.
Okay. And then so same thing for me. I started shooting kind of when I was competition when I was 12. I started shooting when I was 4, but just like Josh, I had to kind of put a hiatus on all that. Obviously, active duty kind of takes priority off all training and stuff like that for firearm stuff. So he and I met each other and everything like that. We'd go up into the mountains and shoot 500 to 1,000 rounds and make a day of it or something like that whenever we got the chance. You got out of active duty in
2019.
2019. I got off active duty in 2021. Found my new career in law enforcement, everything like that. Been doing that ever since 21, and now I'm law enforcement, following footsteps, of course. And now trying to get back into the competition side of the house, mainly IDPA, but anything really. So any kind of shooting, no matter what it is a good day in my opinion. So just did that recently in the past 6 months, maybe 8 months. Was fortunate enough, very, very, very gracious to Atlas for picking me up as one of the team guys for them now. So I'm fortunate enough to be shooting their new Atlas Apollo. However, I want to definitely let Josh know and Dad know that I'm very grateful for both of y'all coming out and everything like that. We can make this thing happen and everything to come out and shoot. So the other thing I want to let everybody know too is you got into the competition very recently.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing the competition side?
So you had me sign up for this deal in October-ish of last year. And
which was 23, correct? 2023,
yes. Yep. And I hadn't even picked up any type of competition shooting at all up until that point. January is when I officially started my local matches and stuff like that.
Okay, how's that been going? How has going to your local matches been helping you out?
So the first one, I would say I was pretty nervous because I went out and bought the polymer can of gravel, mainly just off of me picking up one in a store and renting it and shooting it, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So then I went. To be, my first one ever, I was nervous, yeah, I will say. But then as soon as I got there, people immediately start talking to you because you're a new shooter. You go to the new shooters briefing. They explain basically real cut and dry everything you need to know. And then you shoot, and everybody that is there, they're more than willing to answer any type of questions you have. They'll loan you gear, ammo if you need. So, I was shocked by, everybody says that it's easy to get into competition shooting and stuff. And my big thing is just don't overthink it. Go out, they're going to welcome you with open arms, and they're going to allow you to shoot because they want more shooters.
Sure. And that we're speaking specifically for IDPA, but I've met guys from USPSA, I-Corps, IPSC, 3-gun, 2-gun, long-range, precision stuff. At the end of the day, all of us just want to have a good time on the range. That's all it is. So it's not saying that you have to get into IDPA or just IDPA shooters in general. It's just come out and have fun. Like my IDPA family started back when you and I started shooting together, and that's when I was 12.
Yep.
So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you. So tell me kind of your start in shooting.
Well, I started at a local club when I was a teenager, and my folks allowed me to get a .38 revolver, and I would shoot it in a Friday night league match and stuff. It was just, some nights it was bullseye, some nights it was law enforcement qualification courses, just something different and stuff to learn to handle a revolver and shoot it well. And when I went to college, the school had a bullseye small bore pistol team. I tried out, got on the pistol team, shot on it, had a great time. Went on to get my master's degree, and the college I was at there had a school range, and I was working on a law enforcement degree, and they had a law enforcement PPC club that shot collegiate level, and so I shot on that.
Okay.
And it was toward the end of my college year and everything, getting close to graduation, I happened to run into some people that told me about an IPSC indoor match they were having in Kansas City. And I went up, shot it, just had a blast. It was so much fun to move and shoot and have scenarios to shoot through and everything. And from that point on, I shot IPSC whenever I could, wherever I could, and was around in the early days when it transferred to USPSA. Shot that up until IDPA came into being around 1996.
Okay.
And at the time I was running a club in North Dakota that basically we shot IPSC and some 3-gun, and I knew a lot of the people that had formed IDPA. I'd shot with them over the years quite a bit, and I liked the concept of being able to shoot and compete with guns you could buy right off the counter, like a 1911,
Absolutely.
the SIG, the Canics, that were just, you could go buy a holster, a couple of mag pouches, a couple extra magazines, and walk on the range and be competitive.
Right.
And I thought this is a great way to introduce people to the shooting sports, to safe gun handling, to improving their shooting skills, their awareness and stuff in situations and everything of handling their guns under stress.
Absolutely.
On a friendly, competitive basis, and so
let me ask you this then real quick. So with pointing out some of the guns and stuff we have on here, this is a single stack 1911. All of us, of course, know this. Some of y'all might not. So just kind of pointing out some obvious stuff. So this single stack 1911, this is technically a double stacked SIG. Your double stacked Canik rival, correct?
Steel frame, yeah.
So this is a Glock 43X, and this is the new Atlas Apollo. This right here, I mean, all of this Gucci gear right here, you do not need any of it. You can absolutely carry what you carry on the daily basis, leather belt, inside the waistband holster, and come out and play just like everybody can, correct?
Correct.
Right? I mean, that's pretty much what you did, right?
And yeah, that's part of the reason why I bought the Canik rifles. Because
Excuse me.
It comes with the holster already.
Right.
So it's just one less thing me as a new shooter had to worry about.
Okay.
So then I went and just got bare bones, minimum mag pouches. And
Yep.
That's literally all you need.
Perfect. Okay, so sorry to interrupt, Dad. So
That's
as,
all right.
as of starting in IDPA at about 96, from that point on, with you being law enforcement and everything like that, also helping for job stuff and security stuff and everything like that, what drove you to continue to shoot?
I love competing, and I just like shooting, and I like running and gunning in the scenarios and everything, and going to a match that's not formalized like PPC or Bullseye. I want to show up and be put in a situation that I might come into in real life or would never even experience and everything, and see how well I can shoot under the clock, under pressure, at difficult targets, at moving targets, at twisting targets, anything just to challenge.
In all different positions.
In all different,
Yeah.
shooting, just a challenge to shoot
Sure.
at different difficult situations under a controlled environment that are safe and stuff, just to see and where my skill level's at and to improve my skill level. And then but what was really nice about IDPA is that it didn't matter what your skill level was at. I had people come in that had just gotten their concealed carry permits and wanted to learn and be familiar with their guns and carrying a gun and using it safely and everything. And this was a safe pressure situation on the clock and everything, and that put pressure on, but not it wasn't stressful like a real life situation stuff.
Sure.
But it was enough pressure for them to learn good habits and learn where their skill level was at, and improve their skill level.
Absolutely.
And it's been that way. My club has run continuously, putting on monthly matches since '96 to this year and through this year, and I always have. I've got shooters that have shot with me for over 20 years.
Big shout out to East Grand Forks Rod and Gun Club for all you guys up in North Dakota and everything like that. Go check those guys out. You're the one pretty much putting on all the IDPA matches. They got a couple of matches out there. I still recall. I don't know what's going on with that, but you still put on one monthly IDPA match, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Big shout out to who do you go shoot with now?
I've been shooting with DCF.
Okay. DCF, and that's in Colorado Springs?
And Castle Rock. They have 3 locations.
Okay, and Castle Rock. So come grab him, or come grab me if you're in the Nashville area or something like that. I shoot down at Royal Range with the Average Joe's crew. I mean, trying to plug all sports here. I'm not saying IDPA is end all be all, but how are the people with IDPA that you shoot with?
Very understanding.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean,
Same thing with you. What's all the guys out there?
Just a blast. It's a group on our club, and we're in a rural area, but we average between 30 and 40 some shooters a month.
Okay.
And it's just everybody tries to help everybody improve. If a guy has an equipment problem, somebody's going to be there to loan him, help him out.
Okay.
It's just a wonderful group of people that are all enjoying doing the same thing.
Absolutely. And with that, I'm going to kind of add something onto that. I remember it was I'm pretty sure you were there, my very first state match at Berryville. I shot forever with a Glock 34. That was my gun that I shot up until I was picked up by Atlas. And I remember, I think it was my very first match. I come over the barrel. It was one of my last stages and fired my round or whatever. And I guess the Loctite or something broke loose on my front sight, completely turned sideways. They stopped the match or that stage for me and was like, okay, it's an equipment malfunction. I had somebody pull out, I think it was a brand new SIG or whatever he was running, handed it to me, said, here's my gun, here's my ammo, here's my gear, run it. And that's what I did, and that's how I finished out the match. And that's what I've grown up with you like. It doesn't matter if I'm running this and your equipment breaks, I'm going to hand you all of my stuff and say, shoot it. I don't care. And that's, I know all of us are. It doesn't matter what guns we're running or anything like that. If you need something, that's how my IDPA family is. And when I say family, it's literally my second family. We drive across everywhere. Florida, Colorado, Tulsa, you name it. We've been down to almost everywhere, and it's an amazing group of people doing some amazing stuff. And whether you shoot perfect or couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, it's just a darn good time hanging out with everybody and literally shooting the shit. So no pun intended. But yeah, so is there anything else you want to add?
I would just say, like, don't be afraid. Get out there and shoot. Very easy to get into. And if anything, you don't want to shoot your first match or whatever, just go to one of your local clubs or gun stores. They should be able to know around the same times when the matches are, and just go watch. If anything, just go watch people shoot, and you're going to make friends doing that, and eventually you're going to want to shoot.
Absolutely. Dan, anything you want to add on there?
Come out and join us at the range. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And like I always say, it's not about looking cool or going fast, whatever. It's about learning, being safe, like trying to push the 2A community as a whole, as these aren't something scary and dangerous. Like, you need to know how to use them, but come out with some people that actually know how to use them and do it in a safe way and have an absolute blast while you're doing it. So with that being said, thank you both for doing this and sitting down with me and hanging out, and especially for coming all the way out here to Colorado and whatnot and shooting with me. So with all that, guys, we'll see y'all on the range. See, this shit ain't easy.
Hey guys, this is the sum of what happened this weekend at the Cameo Shooting Complex.
Tell us about that, McCoy. This is going to be awesome, man. This is going to be absolutely awesome, man. All right.